Hey everyone, it's Colin. How's it going? Personal digital assistants became wildly popular starting in the late 90s, and while they were quite portable, they were still a bit more than what some people needed. So let's check out an even smaller device that kept your information organized, but also had a trick up its sleeve. This is a Rolodex Rex 3. It's known as a Personal Information Manager, or PIM, and what got everyone's attention when it launched in late 1997 was its small size, about the same as a credit card. It ran on a pair of CR2025 coin cell batteries, which were understandably dead in the unit I picked up. The main feature is a relatively large black and white LCD featuring a resolution of 160 by 98 pixels. It isn't backlit, but still remains easy to read in ambient lighting. A series of 5 buttons on the right edge are for navigating its icon-driven menu, though they're somewhat difficult to press due to their low-profile nature. The Rex offers 5 main functions. A calendar lets you see upcoming events and appointments, and the address book can hold all of your contacts' names, addresses, and phone numbers. There's also a task list and a section to store memos and notes. Finally, a world clock lets you compare the time between your current location and a number of global cities, especially useful for frequent travelers. A few configurable options are available, such as the inactivity timer, display preferences, and alarm style. Yep, they even managed to cram a small speaker into this thing, and it can wake up and play an audible alert to remind you of upcoming appointments. For a device this small, its functionality was certainly impressive at the time, but it begs the question, how did one put information on it? PDAs often used handwriting recognition, and simpler electronic organizers typically had built-in keyboards. There was no way to add or remove data directly on the Rex itself, but that's where its clever design comes into play. Its exact size and shape weren't arbitrary. This thing is actually a PCM-CIA card. The operating system on the Rex 3 was made by a company called Starfish Software, who also wrote the TrueSync program you'd install on a companion PC. The most convenient laptop I had available ran Windows XP, which, according to some reports I read online from other Rex owners, was capable of running the software. The installation went fine, and with the help of an updated driver package, I got the machine to recognize the Rex. But despite configuring TrueSync to look for the device in the PC card slot, synchronization attempts would always fail. Windows itself knew the card was there, but TrueSync, for whatever reason, simply couldn't bridge the gap. It had originally been designed with Windows 95 in mind, so I figured that I was just asking a bit too much. So I dug out an older machine, a ThinkPad 240 that I restored not too long ago. It was running Windows 98, and installation went much more smoothly. The card was detected right away, and I was able to launch the TrueSync Information Manager program. This is where one could manage all the data they wanted to keep on the Rex, and was useful on its own as personal organizer software. But it was also possible to sync data from another program, like Microsoft Outlook. Most importantly, on this laptop, synchronization worked flawlessly. It only took a few seconds, and it was also possible to set up bidirectional sync, where you could use more than one computer with the Rex. The vast majority of laptops at the time included at least one PC card slot, but desktops weren't left out either. An optional accessory was a docking station that connected through a regular serial port. While this unit has the Rolodex name printed on the front, that was really just for branding purposes. Franklin Computer had teamed up with Starfish Software and Japanese electronics manufacturer Citizen to develop the Rex platform, and the Rex 3 was their first model. At its launch, it got a lot of favorable press, mostly centered around its convenient form factor. But actual sales weren't all that great. Its retail price of $150 US was compelling, but for the same amount, one could get an electronic organizer that included a keyboard, or for a bit more money, a proper PDA that had far more functionality. There were simply a lot fewer people willing to trade features and usability for the Rex's small size. A year later, the Rex 5000 added more memory and some basic data input capability, but the overall experience hadn't really changed, and PDAs were still gaining popularity. Poor sales caused financial troubles for Franklin and Starfish, who sold the Rex product line to networking manufacturer Xircom in September 1999. Xircom pledged to support it and continued the partnership with Citizen to produce the Rex 6000 the following year. It kept the same form factor and price point, but added a much more functional touchscreen and bumped data storage up to 2 megabytes. Despite its improvements, Rex still struggled in the marketplace. Starfish Software had been acquired by Motorola in July of 1998, but they weren't interested in Rex, just the TrueSync technology. Xircom likewise was purchased by Intel in early 2001, who also wasn't interested in Rex. Shortly after that deal closed, the Rex 6000 was discontinued. Citizen had been selling the Rex line under its own DataSlim branding in Japan, but with the partnership gone, the platform had finally reached the end. Rex may not have caught on with consumers, but that doesn't mean it was a bad product. On the contrary, it was a simple, convenient, and effective way to keep tabs on your schedule and look up contact information. Its coin cell batteries lasted for months, and it was far more compact than a paper day planner. It was simply overshadowed by more capable competition. Platforms like Palm were more well-rounded, so in the end, Rex was really just a solution in search of a problem. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. You can follow me on social media at thisdoesnotcomp, and as always, thanks for watching.